Hello, I am Emre from the Electron After Sales Services team. Today, we are pleased to introduce our new Electron +3 Master device. This is our latest, highly advanced multicolor printing device. This specialized device holds our box, drawing suction directly through its dedicated tube. It also includes its own injector unit. As you recall, we unboxed this in a previous video. If you're interested, you can watch that footage via the link below. Now, let me walk you through its primary features. You can easily adjust the kilovolts, microamperes, total air and paint percentage directly from the main home screen. You can also fine-tune the kilovolts by using the scroll button. By sliding the control lever up or down, we can precisely calibrate the exact kilovolts or microamperes that we require for this procedure. We are certainly able to make the necessary adjustments to that. The total amount of air we are currently using is set to 4, and our paint percentage is currently balanced at 60:40. We can certainly accommodate that. On our secondary page, you will find our recipes. We currently have 4 fixed recipes available. These 4 fixed recipes we show. We typically utilize this application on perfectly flat surfaces. These specific figures are the values that we have officially recorded here as constants, which are based entirely on the information we have gathered from the field, along with the experience we have gained through the rigorous tests we have conducted. The other button on the control panel is for the specific settings we use when we are applying the second coat. Once again, by using the factory settings of 45 to 27, a total air of 3, and 60% paint, we can consistently achieve truly excellent coating results. Additionally, whenever we decide to press the third button, drawing upon our extensive professional experience, we can successfully perform the painting on those recessed surfaces by using specific settings of 55 and 30, a total airflow of 3, and a paint ratio of exactly 60%. If you find that these recipes are not enough to satisfy your needs, please be aware that there are 50 different recipes available for you to choose from. You can easily save them to your personal collection by pressing the button located at the bottom of your screen. Now you might be wondering, how do you save one? It is quite straightforward. Simply set your kilovolt and microampere air settings to the specific level that you require. The 80, that comes to 70, and the total amount of paint, let's make it 30. You will need to perform a long press on the designated recipe save button. Once you have done that, the LED indicator light will begin to flash. After that, navigate through the menu to select your desired recipe number and then perform another long press on the recipe save button once more, at which point it will begin flashing quite rapidly, confirming that your recipe has been successfully saved into the system. Now, moving beyond our standard factory default settings, whenever you decide to press the dedicated recipe button and then carefully select the number 10 option, all of those previously saved values will be loaded into the system automatically for you. In total, the system allows us to store up to 50 individual recipes. If you take a look at this first page of our documentation, you will see that we have highlighted 3 of our 50 standard recipes. The 4th entry is a specialized technique that we call overspray. This method allows us to ensure that the powder paint adheres to the material in a way that is both incredibly dense and very efficient. Moving away from the home screen, you will need to press the second button on the interface to navigate over to the following screen. Once you have arrived at this second page, you will find several options, including the needle air setting, the double-click feature, the total operating hours, the total trigger activation time, as well as the buttons that allow you to adjust the screen brightness to your preference. When we select and leave any of the 10-digit values we have configured, our screen will automatically dim. If we set this option to double dashes, our screen will never dim. It will remain lit continuously. Now on our third page, for instance, we can input the specific replacement intervals for our Teflon tubes or filters right here, based on the maintenance time frames we have established for ourselves. The system then proceeds to perform the countdown for us in an entirely automatic fashion. And when that designated time finally arrives, it provides us with a clear alert directly on the main screen. In order to activate the integrated multicolor vibration motor system, it is necessary for you to firmly press down on the designated active button located on the very top of the device. Furthermore, whenever you choose to press the Bluetooth button, you can easily access the Bluetooth service directly on your mobile phone. This specific device here is our C1 model gun. The primary feature that distinguishes our C1 gun from the C2 model is the specific layout of the buttons located on the back. Let us take a moment to go over these buttons one by one, starting with our LED button. while painting the material. This device provides us with significant help. It lets us maintain a clear view of the surface we are currently painting. The unit toggles on and off every time we press the button. Also, it shuts off automatically if left on for a set period. As for our P key, this provides access to all of the programs. Pressing the P key once allows me to navigate between the rows, and pressing it again allows me to navigate within each row. Then, using the plus and minus keys, I adjust the kilovolts. I am able to increase or decrease my microampere settings whenever I need to do so. Additionally, long pressing the P button activates the fast purge feature. However, to enable the fast purge feature, we first need to configure certain settings on our device. For these settings, whenever I happen to press down on my B1 button, the display clearly indicates that my specific device is currently set to multicolor mode. As I continue scrolling further down by using these buttons, Animal A is responsible for the entire purge. And when I restart the export, I find that. And then, whenever I exit the vehicle once again, I make sure to perform a long press of the P key that is located right there on my gun. The fast purge sequence is currently in the process of activating right now. This fast purge function grants me the ability to perform rapid cleaning by forcing a high pressure stream of air directly into my gun. It is absolutely essential that our B1 button remains in a constantly active state throughout the entire duration of the operation. Should it happen to become inactive, both our vibration motor and the embossing air system will cease to function entirely as intended. Once you've pressed B1 and finished configuring the fast purge cycle, press B1 again to return to the main screen. You can then configure your multicolor device for hopper mode. This allows you to use your one-box unit as a standard hopper or gives you the flexibility to define it as an automatic device if you prefer. When we take a moment to consider the proportional property in details, I would like to have the complete weather report displayed directly on my home screen. And the system will automatically perform the necessary adjustments to the paint percentage for you. However, if I personally prefer to manually configure both the auxiliary and the main air settings, I am able to navigate down from the B1 button once more and simply select the proportional option. Here, I can set the system to an independent mode of operation. Once done, I can manually configure auxiliary and total airflow settings directly from the home screen. As a rule, we find that we utilize this in a strictly proportional manner, which means that it is being adjusted automatically by the system. By utilizing the specific PCF1, PCF2, and PCF3 configuration settings, I am able to manually increase or decrease the total volume of paint that my device is applying throughout the entirety of the calibration process. I use this to adjust the auxiliary and the main air settings for my fuel injector from here. The numerical values that are coming directly from the factory floor are remaining constant at a level of around 12. If I do not take the time to manually adjust my minimum paint setting right here, I simply will not be able to get the injector to spray the paint in a truly efficient manner. You can also view my network settings here. If I wanted to use this device in automatic mode, that is, if I had mounted it in a device cabinet, I would have configured my automatic settings from this page as well. Another feature of our device is its double-click capability. To enable the double-click feature, we are going to need to enter a specific value into the double-click button on our second page. Just a brief moment ago, we were still working on the main page of the site. That is what we recorded. We were currently working with recipe number 10. Now, I would like to successfully match our existing recipe number 10 with the primary recipe number 1. I have the ability to accomplish this task in one of two distinct ways, either by using the registered method or by choosing the unregistered one. For instance, if I perform a double-click action and then manually enter 10 from the second page interface while recipe number 1 is currently selected, I have finally arrived at the home page. Now I must reach for my weapon. If I happen to double-click, it will guide me directly to my own perfect prescription. If you happen to click the button once more, you will see that prescription number 1 will appear right there on your screen for you. By clicking on it again, you will be presented with number 10, and then it will cycle back to the number 1 once again. However, please be aware that if you decide to select a different option, such as number 2 or number 3, the convenient double-click functionality will unfortunately no longer be available for you to use at all. Even if you decide to return to the first prescription, it will not restore that feature simply because we did not save those specific settings earlier in the process today. In order to properly configure the double-click shortcut feature for my primary prescription, I first had to input the specific prescription number that I want the system to automatically navigate to whenever I perform a double-click action while I am currently on my second page. And now I have successfully returned back to my main page. I am performing a long press on my button. This configuration has been saved to recipe number 1. Now, if I perform a double click, the system will switch over to recipe number 10, and when I click again, it will return back to recipe number 1. Regarding my injector unit, as you can clearly see, it features a distinct V-shaped structure. It is highly practical, thanks to these integrated quick release couplings. The entire unit is fully detachable for your convenience. It delivers a consistent paint flow of 400 grams per minute. It also features replaceable filters and a durable Teflon bushing for longevity. The specific part of the lock that you see right here. After you have finished loosening the nut, if you turn it in a clockwise direction and then give it a firm pull, it is now making its return, along with its own little nipples. Every single time that I attempt to twist and pull on the nozzle, my Teflon bushing component, it can be easily disassembled into 3 parts. After I finished seating the Teflon bushing, I had replaced back into its place. I am inserting it into the slot, and now I am locking it securely into place. I am pressing down firmly on the part so that the alignment line you see on the surface is perfectly vertical, and while I am holding it there, I am slowly tightening the nut to secure it in place. You can easily adjust the pressure on the suction pipe of my multicolor unit to your desired bar level by using the regulator you see right here. In order to activate this regulator, you must first turn on the power button and then pull the trigger. After a certain amount of time has passed, it will automatically switch itself to the off position. In this video, we have officially introduced our brand new Master +3 device for your consideration. Should you happen to have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to our team directly via our dedicated contact line.